Good evening, everybody. This will be an English, like a kind of conversation, and I hope this will be a nice evening for us. I'm here to talk about my adventure, my journey to back to Islam, because I really was in the search of the meaning of life when I was in high school, when I was like 15, 16 years old. And during this time, I was asking questions to people around me, and I was trying to um, read things about the meaning of life and so on. So I'm not coming from a very religious family per se, and then even there was some people in my family who was not really, he was a little bit away from religion, away from the concept of religion. So as I go in my middle school or elementary school, I had some teachers who were really good ones, and who were trying to convey the message of Islam religion, the truth, that they thought it was like a kind of beneficial for their students. And I think that the real search started when I was in high school. The high school years were like ups and downs. You are trying to understand why you are here. You ask questions, and you are in the puberty, and you have different feelings. But at the same time, you start uh, seeing different people. There are some atheists around you, there are some religious people around you, and you are trying to understand the general idea about what is my role in this life. So especially when I started university, I was like in a good program, in a good university. I was having a electrical engineering degree program, and then it was one of the best universities and one of the best programs back then, 30 something years ago. And then I started the university. I had new people around me, and I was staying in a dormitory like a student, uh, like six students staying in one room, and we are studying together, we are talking, and so on. And at some point, even though I thought there was one God, there is a system, so there should be a one God, and I'm hearing about Islam. I'm sometimes going to the mosque, and I have in Ramadan times, like we sometimes have people um, fasting. I'm also trying to fast and so on. But really, there's no deep understanding of the religion itself. Like I'm trying to share my journey to Islam. I was born as a Muslim, but then I started having some, let's say, ups and downs, some questions. What's the meaning of life? What is Islam? What is Allah? Who is Allah? What kind of a God, the creator, is he, and so on. So I had many, like I had many issues, with and questions about Islam. And I had some friends who were students also in the university, and they were sometimes coming and asking me questions like, "Are you a Muslim?" Yes, I was saying I am Muslim. I believe in Allah. I believe in a creator. I believe in God. And he was trying to uh, like coming up with some questions about the religion itself, sometimes even the prophet himself. So I was really confused when I was 18, 19 years old, and I started to be away from the religious mindset, and I started acting like there's no holy stuff. There is no one that really is a creator. So that's why I was trying to. Um, that was like the guy was asking, I remember this when I was again 18, 19 years old. I was sitting in my bed, and he came with a notebook. He had some questions in that notebook, and he was asking questions about religion. He was questioning the prophet, and then I wasn't able to answer those questions. I was really my belief, even though I wasn't like a very strong believer, I was telling myself I'm a Muslim, and I believe in Islam. I believe in Allah, the Creator, the God, and I was trying to answer his questions, but I realized that I don't know any. I don't have any answers to those questions. Really, that was a kind of it was my first year in university, so it was a kind of shaky times for me. I was trying to understand what I'm believing in, and then it was like maybe there is no God, there is no religion, and so on. I started acting like there is nothing like that. So I started having more fun in the university. I started having different kinds of people, different kinds of friends around me, and this really this was the darkest times of my life. And then I started again feeling some emptiness in my heart. So you do not have a faith, but you want to believe in something, but there is a lot of questions in your mind. You're asking questions, but nobody is answering you. And in a sense, I was having such a feeling that if I have answers, I need to change my lifestyle. So I had a certain lifestyle which was a little bit sinful lifestyle with bad friendships and bad habits and so on. If I ask a question and if I get a correct answer which will satisfy me, I would change. I had to change my life. So that's why I didn't want to ask questions at that year in my first and second year of the university. So, but in the meantime, I had some friends around me whose family was religious, even though he wasn't so religious. I met with my friend. He was from my hometown, but he was also in the city that I was getting my education at. So I visited his family, and they were like talking about God. They were talking about religion, and they were talking about different aspects of Islam. And I was sometimes asking questions. What does it mean? Why we are living here? What's the meaning of life, and so on. I was trying to have a good time with my friend. I was visiting their family and home. We were eating together. We were chatting together, and he was trying to share some of his ideas with me. And in one of those nights, I visited a friend group, let's say a circle of friends. They met and they were reading some books, and then they were trying to understand those concepts. And one of those topics that was really kind of an eye opener for me. This was a moment that I felt like, yeah, that story, the one that I will share to you tonight, is a kind of like it's showing me, it's telling me what is the meaning of life. Why am I here? What am I doing? What am I supposed to do? Because I'm gonna die. Even in high school, I was having some questions about life after death. So I was writing like some poetries, and I was telling that what's gonna happen after death. What is the meaning of life? Why am I having all these things? People are dying next to me. I'm getting older, and my family is, my parents are getting older, and at some point I was questioning all those simple little things. I was like witnessing certain young people dying, and I was afraid of dying myself. So all those question marks, big question marks around me, was really driving me towards trying to understand, explore the meaning of life. So now I will try to share with you a story. This is from a book called Words. It's in the treatise of Risale-i Nur, we call it. And then it was a kind of eye opener for me, and I started questioning that story. And then I felt like, yeah, that's the meaning. That's the meaning of life. And then after this circle with friends, I went back to my dormitory. I was, as I said, I was staying with students in my university. And then one of my closest friends, I went to him and I told the story that I will share with you right now. And he was like, okay, but what I understood, he wasn't really trying to search for the answers. If someone is not searching for the answer of any question, if he doesn't have any question, then he wouldn't find the answer, right? So that's the point that I realized, that I needed answers. I needed more spiritual answers, more direct answers, which will satisfy my heart and my mind. So it's not only the mind that works. We also have heart that is the center of feelings. We all are facing, encountering different things. It is going to our minds and then to our hearts, and it really gives us some questions, sometimes nice feelings, sometimes satisfaction, sometimes curiosity, sometimes dissatisfaction. All these things happen in our lives, as you always also like experience in your lives. So let me start sharing that story with you. I will try to read some parts, and then I will try to share what I think, what I felt at that time, and what I'm really feeling when I'm reading this passage. So this story is about a king, and once I'm starting to read that passage. It's like maybe one page long, and then once I'm done, I will try to share my feelings and thoughts, and then I will finish this live session today. And I will try to give every week there will be one session about life, the meaning of life, what is Islam, what do I understand about different aspects of Islam. I'm a professor at a university, so I started questioning all these 30 years ago, and until that time, I graduated. I did my PhD. I got married. I had 3 children, and in different tests of life, I had different understanding for different things. I will try to share all these different feelings, thoughts, and ideas that might be useful for the young people and for all people around us. So let's start with the story. Once there was a king who possessed immense wealth. Now I'm gonna tell you a story. In this, there is a king, and then there will be an explanation of the meaning of life. Okay, please be with me. I'm sure you're going to be benefiting from this story, and it will really touch like some feelings in your hearts. Once there was a king who possessed immense wealth. He owned countless treasuries filled with diamonds, emeralds, and every kind of precious jewel. In addition to these visible treasures, he also had hidden and extraordinary treasures known only to himself. The king was not rich only in wealth, he was also highly skilled in remarkable arts and had deep knowledge of many wonderful sciences. He was extremely learned in numerous difficult and subtle fields of study. So he is wealthy, he has a lot of treasuries, he is also skillful in arts, he had deep knowledge, he has wonderful sciences, he knows a lot of things, very difficult, very subtle arts or fields of study. Like anyone who has great beauty and perfection, the king wanted to see his own excellence and also to show it to others. He is knowledgeable, he is wealthy, he knows a lot of arts, he is skillful in arts and deep knowledge in many sciences and so on. So now he wanted to see his own excellence. You see, like we write a poem and then we read ourselves. We write something, we draw a picture, we paint something, and then we look ourselves and say, wow, this is good. Like ourselves, we appreciate our own art, our own piece of work ourselves. And also we want to show it to others. Like in this case, the king wanted to see his own excellence and also to show it to others. For this reason, he decided to create a grand exhibition. Through this exhibition, he wanted people to clearly see the greatness of his kingdom, the richness of his treasures, the beauty of his artistic skills, and the depth of his knowledge. The king had two purposes in doing this. First, he wanted to look at his own works himself, take pleasure in them with understanding and appreciation. Second, he wanted others to look at them so that he could see his perfection reflected in their admiration. So first, he wanted to look at his own works himself. He has a lot of arts, he is wealthy, he is skillful, he has deep knowledge and so on, and he wanted to show himself his own works and take pleasure in them with understanding and appreciation. Second, he wanted others to look at them so that he could see his perfection reflected in their admiration. With this intention, the king began building a vast, magnificent palace. He divided into splendid rooms and residences. He decorated these spaces with jewels taken from his treasuries and personally adorned them with the finest and most beautiful works of art. He arranged everything according to the finest principles of wisdom and filled the palace with marvelous results of his knowledge and skill. You understand, right? There is a king, and now he builds a magnificent, a vast, big palace. And in this palace, he shows all his treasuries, he shows all his works of art, he shows all his deep knowledge, principles of wisdom in that beautiful palace. After the palace were completed, you are trying to understand what I'm talking about, right? There is in this king, in this story, it is the creator of everything. And my assumption, dear friends, in this talk is like we are accepting there is a God, there is a creator, there is one God that creates everything, and he is knowledgeable. He has a lot of arts. He has treasures. He is wealthy, and so on. He has many attributes. We call them names and attributes of this the creator. And then he creates a universe in which you can find a lot of his treasuries, a lot of his adornments, beautiful works of art. You can see a lot of wisdom in the turning or journey of the planets, the stars, and the earth, and so on. So he arranged everything to the finest principles of wisdom. And now there is this universe. Now let's continue with the story. After the palace was completed, the king prepared long tables inside it, filled with the most delicious foods of every kind and all sorts of generous gifts. He arranged a separate table for each group of guests. The banquet was so rich, generous, and beautifully prepared that it seemed as if these priceless blessings had been produced by the work of 100 delicate and refined arts. Then the king invited all his people and subjects from every part of his kingdom to come, eat from the banquet, and watch the magnificent display. Now the king prepared a palace with all his attributes, all his wisdom, all his wealth, and so on. And in this palace, he prepared nice tables, food, generous gifts, and so on. And all people, all subjects in his kingdom are invited to this palace. Then the king invited all his people and subjects from every part of his kingdom to come eat from the banquet and watch the magnificent display. They are there to benefit from the gifts and blessings of the king, and they are also there to watch, to reflect on the magnificent display of art, wisdom, treasury, and so on. You know, we are here, we are invited to this universe. When I heard this sentence, we are invited, we are the guests of the Creator, which are invited to this great universe, especially to our nice, blue, beautiful planet. We are invited here. Everything has been like they are served to us. All the trees are bringing apples, like cherries, strawberries, different kinds of blessings, different kinds of bounties sent to us. There is like oxygen, there is sun, there is all kinds of like gifts and blessings and nice sorts of food around us. Now we are invited to this universe to eat, to benefit from what we are given, and to watch the magnificent display, to watch what's going on around me, to watch the great arts, the great wisdom that is displayed, that is demonstrated in this nice universe. Later, the king appointed a supreme commander as a teacher and guide. Now, there is this big palace, and people, subjects from the kingdom are invited, and there is one supreme commander as a teacher and guide. He is appointed, and his duty was to explain the purpose of the palace and the meaning of everything in it. He was to introduce the owner of the palace to the people. His duty was to introduce the owner of the palace. There is one palace, and it was built by the king, and which is showing all his bounties, all his ornaments, all his great art, all his wisdom. And then now this guide and the teacher is explaining the purpose of this palace, why there is this palace, and what is the meaning of everything, what is the meaning of all these ornaments, what is the meaning of these treasuries, these knowledge, like reflections of knowledge, art, and so on. This supreme commander, the teacher and the guide, he was to introduce the owner of the palace to the people, explain the secrets behind the decorations, and teach what the arts and designs inside were pointing to. He clarified the meaning of the jewels, the ornaments, and the perfect harmony seen everywhere. You see, there is one God, there is one creator. He created the universe, he created everything as the creation of himself. Then he appointed prophets he appointed guides and teachers to the humanity. He appointed teachers in order to explain what all these ornaments, these jewels, these wisdom, and so on is for. What is this harmony for? We see the harmony, we see nice artwork, nice flowers, nice clouds, beautiful trees, beautiful scenes, mountains, valleys, and like greenery, even the desert and everything. It's a great ornament. It's very nicely decorated. So this teacher and guide's duty is to introduce the owner of this palace to people, explain the secrets behind this decoration. What are these all mean? The prophets, the messengers are here to explain all this. He also explained to those who entered the palace how these things showed the greatness, perfection, and artistry of the king who owned it. The prophets, the messengers sent by the creator. Because if there is a book, but you cannot understand the book, there should be a teacher and a guide for us to be able to understand this book. This universe is a great book with a lot of wisdom, with a lot of meaning behind it. But if we do not know how to read it, if we are not taught how to understand all this, or what all these mean, then it will be meaningful to live here, right? So he also explained to those who entered the palace, we are entering the universe, we are entering the palace, and the messengers and the messages explain us how these things showed the greatness, perfection, and artistry of the king who owned it. In addition, he taught them the correct way to look at the palace and how to behave there. So I'm in the universe, I'm in this vast universe, a great harmony, a lot of systematic movements and so on. And I'm trying to understand what all these mean. How should I look at these things that is, and how should I behave here according to the king's wishes, since the king himself did not appear. I can see the palace. I can see all those reflections of wisdom, treasury, deep knowledge, and our artistic skills, and all of these. I can see all these from the creation. But shouldn't I learn how to look at those? Shouldn't I be explained how to reflect on those magnificent manifestations of creation? He taught them, the messenger, the supreme commander, showed the greatness, perfection, and artistry of the king. Also, he taught them the correct way to look at the palace, how to behave there according to the king's wishes. The teacher had assistants assigned to different sections of the palace, while he himself stayed in the largest hall among his students. From there, he addressed all the visitors and spectators with an important announcement. Think about, the king is appointing one teacher and one guide, and it is a kind of concept of having messengers of God. This is one of the belief fundamentals in Islam and in many religions, like Christianity or Judaism. You can see that there are teachers who are here to guide the humanity, and each nation, each century, each geography was appointed one teacher and one guide to explain all these things to the people in that nation, in that geography, in that time period. So the Creator did not let people just play on their own, because in our hearts, in our minds, we are always seeking for the answers towards the questions: why am I here? What is the purpose of life? What is the meaning of life? Why am I having all these things around me? Why am I being sick? Why am I gonna die? Why all these things are happening? Why there is a harmony in the creation? We are always, there is a built-in curiosity towards all these. You can see many people, especially when they're young, they start asking questions about creation, the meaning of life, and so on. When they don't find the real answer, they try to intoxicate themselves. They try to make themselves like, okay, there is these questions, but there is no answer to those questions. There is answer, but sometimes even our ego or our inner self, we don't want to be close to those answers. Here, the messengers, the teacher of the humanity, the teachers, guides of the humanity are here to explain all the meaning of the creation, all the meaning of life. Why are we here? Where are we coming from? What are we gonna do here? What is the creator? What is the creator's, let's say, request from his creation? What is his expectations from the creation, and so on. Now, I like this part, and then I will finish after that. The messenger, the supreme commander and teacher and guide, he addresses people and says, "O people, by building this palace, displaying all these things, our Lord, the true owner and king of this palace, wants to make himself known to you. Therefore, you should recognize him and try to know him better." We are here. Here is the meaning of life, in my opinion. As I said, this is a story from Risale-i Nur. And there are English translations, Arabic translations from different parts of this treatise. This is Kulliyat. So I'm trying to share this story with you right now. What does the religion, what does the Creator ask from us? What is the meaning of my life? The true owner and the king of this palace, this universe, wants to make himself known to you. I am here to recognize him. I'm here to know him better. How can I know the Creator? I can know the Creator from all the things around me. I can know him in one seed coming out and then becoming a tree, in the clouds moving from one place to another and bringing the snow and the rain. I can see the harmonious motion of planets and the stars. I can see the earth, and I can see the air. Everything is a great, magnificent display of his arts, wisdom, and treasury, and all these kind of things. We are here through his manifestations, through his artwork, through his wisdom. I'm here to recognize him. I'm here to know him better. As I mentioned, in Islam, we say there are many names and attributes of the Creator, Allah. He has Razzaq, sustainer. He has the name Qadir. He has the full power of doing everything. Qadir kulli shay. He is Alim. He knows everything. I'm here to know all these aspects and all these attributes and names of the Creator. Through these beautiful decorations, he wants to make himself loved by you. Okay, I'm bringing flowers to my wife. I am bringing gifts for my kids. I'm behaving nicely to people, right? We are here in all these beautiful decorations. The Creator wants us to love him. And through the blessings and gifts you see here in this life, he is showing his love and care for you. He is already showing us his love and care for us. We are sick, he is giving us recovery. We need air according to our system, with the right content, with the right composition, and so on. We see, we have, let's say, instruments, we have senses to sense all these beautiful decorations. If there were no light, even though I had eyes, I wasn't able to see those decorations, those ornaments, those great manifestations of, of, of the Creator. He wants to make himself loved by you, and he is also showing us that he loves us and he cares for us through his blessings and gifts. So you should respond by loving him and obeying his commands. How do I show that I love my Creator? By obeying his commands. He knows everything better than I do. He knows what is good for me, what is bad for me. He says, do this. He says, be away from that. And he gives us the free will in order to choose the right or the wrong. And he wants us to choose the right and to come closer to him and show that we love him really and sincerely. So what is the meaning of life for me? What I understand from here, I'm here to recognize my Creator. I'm here to know better him by reflecting on the creation, by understanding the creation, and by deep, let's say, reflection or contemplation on the creation. And he has given a lot of decorations, gifts, and blessings to me, and I need to see that he cares for me. He loves me, and he's showing this with these things, and I should be responding to him and obeying his commands, being a good person, ethical person, an obedient person, trying to be in the right path, trying not to be close to the wrong things, and so on. Through these generous gifts and blessings, he also shows his mercy and kindness toward you. Therefore, you should show respect to him by being thankful. He is generous. He has generous gifts and blessings. He has mercy and kindness toward me, and I should be thankful to him all the time. He is giving me friends. He is giving me health. He is giving me seeing, hearing, touching, sensing, tasting, understanding, feeling, and all of these blessings. And I am thankful to him all the time. This is one of the real critical points of being here, being thankful to whatever we are given in this life. By creating these perfect and beautiful works, he wants to show you his supreme beauty and excellence. So you should desire to see him, seek his approval. All these great beauty and excellence. What is this? Why are these things are perfect? Why are everything seems to be in harmony? There are a great artwork behind them. When you see a little bug, you can see that there are great, very minute arts there. When you see the eye of a bee, you can see a great art and science behind them. In all these aspects, when you see around you, you will realize that there is this perfect and beautiful works. Is like he is showing that he is beautiful, he is excellent, and there should be one desire in ourselves to be able to see him and to be able to get his approval, to be able to get his pleasure, like he is gonna be pleased with us. And by placing a special mark, a unique seal, and a clear signature on every one of these decorated works you see, he shows that all of them belong to him alone. All these great artifacts, all these great artwork and wisdom shows that there is one creator, there is one God that makes all these, that creates all these things, and He is the only one, and He has the absolute power. Through this, He makes it clear that He is one, unique, without a partner, equal, or rival, and that He depends on nothing. If you remember, there is one surah, there is one chapter of Quran. It's called Surah Al-Ikhlas, and it says, "Qul huwa Allahu ahad." Say, God is one. "Qul huwa Allahu ahad." Allahu samad. Allah, the Creator, doesn't need anything. Every other creature is in need of Him. He is not born. He didn't give birth to anyone. Allahu Samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. He is the one. There is no equal, there is no rival, there is no partner to Him. Therefore, you should recognize His oneness, accept that He is single and unmatched, and believe in Him as such. Yes, that's the story that I wanted to share with you in the last 30 minutes or so. I tried to share one story with a king. He has a lot of treasuries, wisdom, arts and skills, and deep knowledge of different sciences and so on. And he was able to build, he built a nice palace. In this palace, there were great reflections of his wisdom, his knowledge, his artwork, his treasuries, and so on. And then he invites people and his subjects to this palace, and there are good tables and so on in this palace. There are gifts, blessings, and ornaments and displays. So we are here as human. Why are we here? That was the subject of this session today. We are here to ask questions, to understand the real meaning of life. It's not about earning money. It's not about having pleasures of life. It's not about only like following our own desires. There should be much more, let's say, spiritual, much more higher aims, much more higher, let's say, explanations of why we are here. And as I understand from this story, we are here to know the Creator, to recognize that He is the one. He has no partners, He has no rivals, and so on. He has a lot of blessings, He has a lot of gifts to me, and I should be thankful towards His creation, His blessings, and His gifts. And I'm here to recognize His greatness, His oneness, His all work that is displayed in this whole world. So, and we are here to love Him. We are here to be thankful to Him, because He is already a Creator that shows that He cares for us. He loves us through His blessings, through His gifts, and through all these great things that we are given in this life. Thank you very much for your attendance, for your being a part of this session. And I'm going to finish here, and every Sunday or every 2 Sunday, I will try to share some part of the religion or the meaning of life, the why do we have messengers, what kind of a life waiting for us after we die, and so on. So thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, please write as a comment so that we can prepare answers for those questions. Have a nice evening. Selamun Aleyküm.